I wouldn't like to live this way forever, but it kind of reminds me when I was a Buddhist monk. Takes me back to those days long ago. Have one slice of toast and one glass of juice a day. Uh, I'm into the I'm into the technology at the moment. I want to do the Unix properly. So that's my little joke, non-binary Unix. Well, they don't have gender. The Unix doesn't have genitalia. But yeah, I've got computers everywhere at the moment. I did have one up there. I just still not cannot. I don't know what the problem is. Where the problem is. I think it's the software online's at fault. But I'll try and make a boot floppy. On my older computer, it doesn't have USB boot. So on a boot on boot on a USB floppy. Sorry, boot on a floppy disk. And then from there, bring up some kind of software that will boot a USB stick with the operating system on it. I've tried everything I can find, and just nothing works. The floppies don't load. I don't know why. I'm not sure why they don't load. There could be some disruptor on my system doesn't want me to do it. Someone out there is annoying me. I don't know why they care. I mean, you really think I'm just going to go and make Unix without any sort of consideration for anyone else? Like, without any sort of, not government, but any sort of, not corporation, what am I thinking of? Administrative sort of permission, As soon as I feel like someone I can talk to says, oh, well, we'll set you up or we'll help you out with a bit of money for you to set up a studio and write your program and then get it all patented, and I want it all safe and sound. I don't want it getting stolen again and turned into another Frankenstein or this rubbish again. I mean, it's not rubbish, but it's just not satisfying for me. It doesn't work properly. I don't think it's the open ports. I don't think it's the fact of just being hacked. A lot of things I find just have complicated procedures that seem to be made to make life hard. And okay, so maybe it's to stop people from knowing everything, so it's complicated, so it's hard to learn. I don't see why it has to be that complicated, a system like that. I think simplicity does help, because then you can fix things easier. If they're too complicated and you get someone come along, has to learn it all again to then be another repairman or something, and they don't know what's going on, well, it's trouble, isn't it? If you're in space or something, and no one, and there's people on board don't know how the system is, how are they going to fix it? If something happens, it could happen. You just throw it out and throw your lives away and don't care. Well, that defeats the purpose of being alive, doesn't it? So I think it's important to get things right. That's all. I just don't feel that the consumer market is right. It should be more respect to the customers. Flogging away millions and millions and millions and millions of products that all do the same thing, promising all these things and it doesn't do anything new. It's pretty cruel. There's people who work hard for their money, and even me on my pension, I work hard every day just to be a good citizen, do everything right for a measly few $100s a week. And I can't go out today, I can't do anything. I've got to wait for my dad to lend me some money till Friday. So I run out of money in the first few days, just with a few bills and food and petrol. So I can't do much all day. I sit at home too much. I can go for a walk. No one really wants to know, a poor person. everywhere I go, they don't look at you. Like, and it's not really their fault. It's not really my fault. It's just the system is corrupt, and I don't like to harp on about it, but that's where I am. I'm stuck in that between living and inertia, waiting for someone to do something to help this problem. I don't think it's just the ports. I think there's software developers shouldn't be doing the work they're doing. And I'm not saying they're criminals, they're put in the wrong jobs. Maybe they should be doing something different that they love more. More environmental studies, maybe space, maybe something else, But is it still recording? Oh, got a call. So yeah, just, I don't know, try and pray for me, help me out, support me to get in the good books with people where I can get a good space to work on the Unix, which is just, I mean, you could have two versions, I suppose. You could have the consumer one that's sort of for creating things, making stuff, and then you could have more of a console that communicates with the enterprise spaceship when all that's done. And don't make it complicated, It's the same sort of system, but just make one a bit more oriented towards practicing for the enterprise, more a step up, and then when the enterprise comes around, get the real terminal, which will be similar, but maybe a different form, of thing in your home everyone can use. It could even be like I have my big screen. It could even be a big screen thing or something, and you can sit there and talk to people on enterprise, or I don't think it's a good idea just to talk to random people all over the world. I think you should just talk to your family and friends and people you know, and people you've met. Like Facebook will say, oh, only connect with people you know, but you get all sorts of people recommended to you you've never met, you don't know. Well, that's temptation to click and try and connect with strangers. And it can pay off, and it can also be really quite detrimental. So, and not just Facebook, all these things, you're putting yourself out there for strangers to look at your kids and everything. And perfectly good, healthy men can turn and just go, I can't handle that. I might see something too arousing and just go a bit mad and take off looking for it, And I did it with my soulmate. I wanted her company. I just one day left home in Darwin and just took off. And I just, she was an adult by then, but still, I left mum at home with nothing. I just took off in the car, and it was just the way they left without really closing the relationship to the point where I felt I could just come and visit and feel comfortable, It was more like, see you later, we don't want to see you sort of feeling, and I felt driven to go find her again because I was in love with her. So when I did see her and she was just by herself and she looked a bit sad, and I thought, oh look, it's probably not the best thing to do, keep chasing after her, so I sort of gave up. I just walked past and left her on her own. I was kind of in distress looking for my hotel at the time, so I lost directions in Cairns. I didn't know where I was, but I saw her sitting on her own, and it was sad I couldn't just sit with her and talk, I just felt too distressed. I think someone was bothering me. But again, it's the same poverty thing. I had no money, so I got lost and I couldn't find my way back. I forgot my phone, and I was looking for an ice cream shop. I had a few dollars for an ice cream. Really, it should have been meeting up on the wharf, walking down calmly, holding hands, getting an ice cream, walking home. That's what it should have been, but the world's all strange, so we met oddly and it didn't work out, so it's very sad that's the way the world is. I just don't want it that way. I want it to all meet up and work out. There's probably people that don't want their soulmate, but it's because they're not familiar with that life. They're used to the bad one. They have to stay in that mold and accept it, because if they try and fight against it, they're going to upset themselves and their family they have now. So maybe they've moved on from soulmates, or whatever you want to call it, family or whatever, and they just have to accept the life they have now. But I'm more like, if I'm going to accept that, well, I'll die, you know, and I don't want to do that. I want to live on. So it's not so much her anymore. It's a lot of people I don't get to see, I don't get to know. She was sort of a doorway to another world for me. I would have met a lot of new people, I thought. So yes, Enterprise is like making that Unix system would be very bad in a bad world like that. It wouldn't work out. It'd be a lot of problems, and it will get closed down and shut down, and it wouldn't work. So I want the world to work. I want the finances to be more fair, and so people can enjoy the life that's going to be coming. And look, don't worry about population. That'll take care of itself. It always does. Population really needs, you know, adjusting. Things happen. You get viruses, you get this, you get that. Don't worry about it. Life and death. Don't worry about that. Just let people enjoy life and not be hurt all the time, you know, and not put all the pressure on me or God to solve your problems. You got to do it yourselves. So if there's problems with money, God's not going to do anything. You know, God will love you if you do the right thing and bless you and give you more life. But unless you're actually doing the right thing by people and God and the life force, then you're going to suffer, they're going to suffer, the world will suffer, God will punish you. It'll just keep going around in circles. So so yeah, it's disheartening. You know, there's a world out there going on. I'm in my prime and I can't get out and see it all. I can't do anything. I haven't even been overseas yet. I can't afford it. I can't find a job. I can't do this. I can't do that. I hate that word can't. You know, it sounds like can't, doesn't it? I don't want life to be a can't. Anyway, I've got $4 for some milk. That's all I own. And I'm $100 overdrawn. I'm getting a few things, you know. I got a few things today, a new little thing. And I kind of realised I didn't really need it because I've got this keyboard. I wanted a Bluetooth dongle for my other computer up in this corner. But I've kind of got this keyboard, but it's sort of in the way. So it's just an option. If I ever need it, I can plug it in and use that new one, that orange one under there. I've also got this little one. The black one's wireless too, but it's not that big. It's a little miniature one. It's probably more suited to my Xbox if I need it, or maybe the Vava projector. It's not Gavin. It's not Garvin, is it? Garvin, I think, mate. Vava. I think Garvin, or one of those. It's one of those navigational devices you put in your car. They used to make them that, and then they branched off and did all these random things like baby products and cots and, you know, just baby monitors and stuff, electronics like that. So you have a cot with a baby monitor in it so you can communicate. So I suppose they just thought, what else can we make? We'll make a projector. And it's a bloody good one, but it's just the software. I don't know why they don't have the software on. I think someone doesn't like me, doesn't want me to have it because it's got a lot of multicultural stuff, but I'm multicultural. I don't care about that. I just want to live in a better environment where it's not just the one culture all the time. This black Muslim sort of one I don't fit into very well. I respect them, you know, they're fine. I don't care, but just don't spy on my home and stuff and do bad things to me. Try and steal my stuff or do anything, wreck my car like they did when I first turned up. Probably I'm a Christian. I'm not a Christian or anything. I'm just myself. I don't have those sort of beliefs. They're old to me. They're 2,000 years old. All that stuff. I don't cater to any religion or anything anymore. I've moved on to more of a Buzz Lightyear. You know. I don't need to profess I'm anything. You know. I'm just myself. So. For me, that's a constraint. I don't really feel like belonging to any sort of constraint like that. More noise for these dickheads. Why do they rev their cars like that? It's just stupid. Revving your car all the time around, you know, residential homes. You can't think with all that noise. probably in the same boat, frustrated too, want to go out on the racetrack, can't get a license or something. Yeah. So anyway, I had my toast, had my juice. Oh man. So I was saying I'm a Buddhist monk still. I was like one of those about 6,000 years ago. Why would I be one now? Oh, it's in my past, in my heritage. I have those learnings, those teachings, but now I'm more like, I don't know what you call it. Like I'm probably um well, I have a human life. I'm just Evan. That's the person everyone knows. And then I just have a secret life I'm sort of doing without even me knowing, which is sort of building the future for myself. And I'm doing that because I'm beyond the prospect of dying. I'm beyond death. So I have the ability now, being blessed by God as a Superman or a superpower, a creative force or the force or whatever you want to call a Jedi or whatever, that I can actually project my desires out into space to build the things I want to build out there somewhere out into Eternia. Other people don't believe in that stuff, so they die. I believed in it and I was blessed by it because every being that was involved in that kind of belief system believed I was the responsible owner of it all. So I was the one who was responsible for being so caring and taking care of that kind of thing and doing it in a good way, that was. That's why it's all built upon heaven, because you want it to be safe. You don't want to just be a character and get tortured to death, do you? And you've been promised this eternal life and being tortured or forever or something. You want to know eternal life safe, you're not going to get harmed. So really all that space, Star Wars stuff, Enterprise, it has to be done right, otherwise it's never going to happen. So if anyone wants space, you got to be a Superman, honestly. You got to marry the Force. You can't just be a human being. These movies, they're sort of not quite right. They're heathen, so these movies don't believe in those sort of values of heaven. The Force is, they say an ancient religion in Star Wars, Darth Vader, you believe in that ancient religion of yours, whatever. The commanders on the ship, but it's not really ancient. It's more of a futuristic thing. The Force, it's the idea of knowing where you are out in space without needing technology. You can just be a free-spirited Superman that's built its body upon Kryptonian sort of ideals and construct or biology. So you can exist out in space on your own. You don't need a ship. It's just a comfortable way to travel. You can lie down, have a sleep, do all that stuff. You could actually be in space and go back to being a human for a while, and if you ever needed to transform to a Superman, be conscious of it by then, and not be so much working. You sort of done your work, maybe move that work on ahead, to someone else, and you can sit back and enjoy what you've done for a while. And that's what I would love to have done this life, but I did through childhood. Adulthood, it got tricky. I couldn't find my wife, so yeah, I think she might have got killed. Maybe come back, my soulmate. This sort of shit you got to put up with, What sort of idiot is that? Anyway, so yeah, I didn't quite get married young like I wanted to. Around probably 12, I wanted to go through high school married or having a girlfriend, A bit like those anime cartoons. You see the boyfriend, girlfriend at school and they walk around peacefully and they might get up to a bit of mischief in class, but ultimately you just want to end up together and do everything together, and you both do what you want to do in life, but you got someone to do it with, and you can do it all by yourself, but it's nice to have someone with, a bit like that one up there. I would love someone like, that's what my soulmate sort of look like, a bit like Barbie, sort of. She might have been Barbie for all I know. I always felt like I should have been a Ken doll, but I grew up in the sticks and it was a bit rough, my life, so I never really had the girls around me. I had a bit of rough sort of life. My friends were a bit into different stuff and I wasn't really surrounded by those people in that kind of story. So I guess that's for later on, if it ever happens. But yeah, I would like to live that kind of life with Ken. I mean, that's my heritage too. I was, what's his name? Kenneth? Someone Kenneth. I can't remember the name now. He was a fighter, great champion fighter. Someone Kenneth. Oh, Kenneth Ali or Ali Kenneth or something. Kenneth Ali. I think it's the one that Muhammad Ali named himself after. Kenneth Ali. I think that might have been me. I'm not sure. And I was a good fighter. So yeah, it would have bled through to being Ken and Barbie, I suppose. And Barbie's just short for Barbara, or sort of like a Barbie, a person hangs around at the bar and you walk over and say hi, and she says hi Ken, you say hi Barbie. You know, she's like the bar girl. Might have even met her behind the bar, you know, at the pub. Go home, have a barbecue, yeah, all that. People probably make jokes, you know, get about 100 Barbies and say that's the barbecue. They root them all or something. I don't think I'm like that. I think more of a home living sort of happiness, you know, sort of thing with the kids running around. Yeah, anyway. I better go catch this phone call. It was Mum, so I'll catch you later.